So what must I do?
I think you should find someone if it's take a ring. O scratch.
Kids embano.
Yeah, man. Tiam.
Yeah.
Phone.
But there is someone there.
Is it giving you problems?
Mm.
Erin, just give it a nice hit. We did it, son.
Oh, here she is.
Can you see me now?
I can see you, but it seems like I'm frozen on my side. Can you see me?
I see you, but you are frozen. Am I not frozen
Use your
anymore?
mobile button. Use your mobile button.
I don't. You see technology.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Use his Wi-Fi.
I look it.
And I can hear you very well.
Yeah, Rocket is trying to convince me that I need to use my mobile data instead of.
Is it? Hello, Oki. I know you. But I can't hear you now, Joe. I can
you
see
hear
you
me
very
now?
well. I can hear you now, yes.
Okay, he had the microphone was muted. Tiama wanted to say hello.
Fine, open.
Please.
Oh, he left. He's angry.
Okay, it's
Oki made him
fine.
angry. Yo, hello everyone. Yo, finally, I'm so sorry. Yeah, finally it's done. Thank you so much for being patient. But I'm not
Yeah.
happy that I'm using my data instead of Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
But Rocket is saying it's for the best, so I will have to trust him, and I want to be here.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Sisi, for joining in. Thank you for being patient. Let's just get into it. Can you please introduce yourself to everyone who might not know you?
Okay. Thank you so much, Joey, for having me. I appreciate the invite. Hello, everybody. My name is Bonagele Pumo. I am a 51-year-old content creator. I'm still in my infancy stages. I'm learning the ropes in the YouTube space. And yeah, that's me. I'm a mom of 2 adults. And yeah, I'm just a 51-year-old navigating this life.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Hi, I see Drace here, Nomsa, Selani, and Tulisile. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. So, the reason why I invited you, Sisi, it's because I follow you and I love your content. I resonate with it. And I think for me, it's comforting seeing your content. It makes me hopeful. It makes me look forward to my 50s, you know. So
Yeah.
I was like, I think you are in a season of navigating different things. One of them you shared on your platform where you spoke about how you resigned from your job. And I know that's a big one. I love stability, guys. That's why I'm an aspiring housewife. I can't let go of the stability.
Yeah.
So how did you make that decision? And I can imagine how difficult it is because I feel like the more you grow, the more we want stability, the more we are afraid to start new things. But here you are. So please share with us.
Yeah, it was not an easy one, hey? It was a very difficult decision, and it's something that took a long time for me to eventually pull the plug. It took almost a year of me thinking about it, like thinking about it in terms of actually pulling the plug. It took me a year, but I had been thinking about it for quite some time. As you may have seen when I spoke about it on the channel, that it was due to just challenges at my work environment. I worked in a space that was not conducive for anybody, in my view. And I endured so much hardship at work, maybe for like the last 7 years. And I think in the last 3 years, I just thought, no, I just can't do this anymore, you know. Started looking for jobs, applying and whatever, and I was just not securing anything. And it eventually led me to becoming depressed, and I also had anxiety. For the first time in my life, I experienced anxiety. I had never experienced anxiety before. And I was hospitalized at the psychiatric hospital, and after I was discharged, Joey, I realized that no, my life matters more. My mental health matters more, and I think my family would still like to have me around, and I still like to be around because there's a life ahead of me that I still want to live and enjoy. So when I came out of a psychiatric hospital, it was last year in end of October. I decided that I'm going to go back to work just to wrap up certain things, just to finalize certain things. I also had an intern that was assigned to me. I felt like I had a responsibility towards her just to see her through the entire internship program. I did not want to leave her, behind. So I went back
Yeah.
in November, and but I had already decided that I'm leaving. I just needed to decide which month. And then I think it was around March when something in the workplace, like I said, that it was difficult. Something was done that just, it's almost like my spirit sank. Something just lodged in my spirit to say, this is it. And then I put a date in to say, end of July, I'm putting in my resignation. And I just continued April, May, June, knowing very well that end of July, it isn't. So it definitely was not an easy decision at all. Like you
Yeah.
say, stability. I'm a single woman. I don't have a husband, so I'm depending on me. Well, I'm depending on God more, more than I'm depending
Amen.
on me.
Mm.
Yeah, so but it was not easy because I thought, okay, I'm going to leave. What am I going to do for money? And this and this. So it definitely was not an easy decision. I always say when I speak to somebody to say, I don't want to make it seem like I slept today and I woke up and it's all rosy. It's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it
And
went
I
about. Like,
appreciate that.
yeah,
And I appreciate you saying that it's not an easy decision because I feel like sometimes there is this thing of the employed and the non-employed fighting each
yeah,
other, which I don't like
yeah,
because our
yeah,
situations are not the same. And personally, for
absolutely.
me, I always say that I love the concept of entrepreneurship in theory, but
But in
being married
reality,
being married to an entrepreneur, like my
you
husband has always
know,
been an entrepreneur, so I know that it is not as rosy as people
easy.
make it seem,
True,
but at the
true,
same time I understand that we don't want the same thing. So,
true.
you mentioned something, Sisi. I think we don't really talk about it, especially as Christians. The fact that even as Christians, we can end up being depressed, we can end up having anxiety, we can end up needing to go to therapy. So, yeah, I would like you to just share with us how did you navigate that as a Christian? Because I feel like sometimes we give this impression that we don't go through challenges, or if we are going through challenges, yeah, we'll just pray and fast. We don't need
Yeah,
to consult with other professionals. Was
yeah.
it an easy decision for you, or
It was not an easy decision because, like I say, that I had been going through those challenges at work for a while. I could have gone to therapy way earlier, Joey, but because of
yeah,
that, it sort of society needs honestly to open up about these things, to understand that mental issues are real, and the fact that we're the children of God does not necessarily mean these things are not going to affect us. And my
yeah,
thinking as well is that if God allowed people to go into psychiatry, psychology professions, surely they are there to be able to help us as human beings in our journey with Christ. I don't see anything in the Bible that says you can't go to therapists. The Bible talks
Yeah.
about seeking help in several instances, and help
Yeah.
can come in a form of therapy. Help can come in a form of a coach or whatever. So I think I was caught in that wave for a while as well, by not taking the initiative to go to a therapist earlier than I should have. But when things really got so difficult, to the point that I felt like I was burdening people around me by constantly complaining to them, and they also did not have the ability to give me the help that I actually
Mm,
needed. So eventually I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. So it's true that as Christians, sometimes we don't want to embrace that part of life journey. And sometimes
mm,
it's almost like it's a shame that how can you, as a child of God, go through this? Why would you be depressed? And in all honesty, the Bible does not promise us roses all the time. The Bible only promises us that when we go through challenges, God is there. But we will go through challenges, you know.
yeah.
So it was not easy for me to do it, because I say so because I could have done it way earlier, but I
Yeah.
didn't, because
Yeah.
it was just like, you know. But eventually
Yeah.
I did. And it's the best thing I've done for myself in a very
I
long
love that.
time. I can tell you that.
No, I absolutely love that. Thank you. So, everyone, can you please like the live? Everyone who's joining in, there are three dots somewhere up there. Can you please like the live? It helps me somehow. As content creators, I see that Ray saying that was kind of you. I'm sure the intern is grateful. Yeah, that's. I was actually thinking about it. The fact that even though you were going through the most, but you were able to consider another person, and it shows your character. And I was just thinking about how sometimes the workplace, they end up losing great people because they don't really understand what they have, or because of their own issues. One of
Yeah,
the things I'm realizing is that a lot of people are not happy at their workspaces, you know,
yeah, yeah.
and afraid to talk, or yeah, people are afraid to talk because you fear that once you share you will be victimized, or they are going to abuse you more. Or sometimes people don't understand because people will be like, oh, you've got a good job, look at your salary, you've got a car, they give you what. And I think I understand for people, especially with the issue of unemployment in South Africa. So when you start thinking that, if you say to people, I want to leave my job, a lot of people, they will talk from their own issues, their own fears.
Absolutely.
So how was that for you? How did you navigate that? Did you find it that people understood, they heard what you were saying? Because personally for me, Sisi, my job is not toxic. It's irritating,
Mm,
but it's not toxic. So
mm, mm,
I have more freedom than most people. And I think
mm.
from during the pandemic, I realized how lucky I was to work where I'm working. There's not so much growth, but there's no abuse, where I feel like when I'm at home, when I knock off at 4, I knock off. No one is going to contact me. So it can be very easy for someone like me to not understand when someone
True.
is saying their workspace is not good. So
Yeah.
how yeah, were you supported when you shared what you were going through, or do you feel like it's something that we need to work on?
Like you are saying that you get victimized for speaking up. That was the case in
Yeah,
my case. I got victimized because I opened my mouth and I said
ish.
things and I asked questions about things that were wrong, that were being done to myself, to the team, to everybody else. And then for that, I got victimized, I got abused, I got bullied, and I was frustrated to the core. I was set up for failure. I was given responsibilities and tasks that are setting me up for failure, and the person was relentless. Like I'm gonna say it's a she. She was not
Yeah,
willing to come to the party, and it went on for a very long time. And for a while, I tried different things. Initially, I tried to be nice, let's work together. Da, da, da.
yeah,
At
yeah,
some point, I thought, let's talk about it. What is the problem? Because to me, it seemed like it's way more than, it's not a work thing. It seemed like things are becoming personal. I said, let's talk about
Personal.
it. That did not help. I ignored the person, but there was nothing I could do because I report to the person. So I can't completely ignore them. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I would say that the system in my former work space failed me because I tried different things. I tried to be moved to another area. I tried to apply for other posts that were available so that I could move and leave this person alone. Maybe she will be happy if I'm. And all the efforts that I attempted just did not yield anything. And the truth is that people knew what was happening because when I eventually left, people were telling me that we know how toxic it is. We know, and these are senior people, but who did not come to the part. So I'm raising this for yourself, for everybody listening, to say wherever you are, look out for other people because the system
Yeah.
also fails its employees and its people.
Mm,
So
mm.
I went through what
No,
I
I
went
hear
through.
you.
Yeah, I went through what I went through because I opened my mouth. In terms of support, I got varying opinions. Other people were scared for me when I said I'm quitting my job, like, oh, what are you going to do? You work for government, it's a good workplace, wara wara. But I'm grateful that my family was supportive. My family was
Yeah.
supportive because they saw what I went through. So when I eventually told them to say, "Hi guys, now I can't anymore," everybody was like, you know what, we will support whatever decision you take. So from my family side, which I'm grateful because those are the people I live with, I did not get
Yeah.
any
Mm,
resistance. But from other people, some people were like a little bit skeptical. Ooh, what are you going to do? What if you are in your 50s? What are you going to do? Da da da. But
yeah.
I just got to a point where all I had was trust in God, and that's it. You know?
I love
Yeah.
that. No, thank you so much, Cece. And I love the point that you made that we really need to look out for each other. And I think that is something that is missing in a lot of
Yeah.
workplaces,
Mm-hmm,
where it's
mm-hmm.
like each man for its own. And
Yes,
there's no way
yes,
that we are going to grow if things are like that. And
yeah.
like I get you, Cece. I'm that person that I talk, and sometimes I'm like, when
Utokena mathateng.
yeah, but I'm like, God is for me. I see, no, I'm saying people who make their jobs their identity are the ones that present this
Absolutely,
bullying behavior in the workplaces. That is so true. And
absolutely. That is very true.
yeah, and I think it's that saying that hurt people hurt others. It is so true,
That
even
is
in
the
the
truth.
workplace, because
Yes.
sometimes I think we expect everyone to be professional, but sometimes it's not like that. Let me read the comment from Kamu. I had a similar experience with the person I was reporting to at my first job, but I enjoyed because there were two ladies who made the situation bearable.
You
I
see? You
yeah.
see?
And for me, yeah, it actually reminds me of my first job. I was on a contract and I was one of those people, when you come early, and because I come early, I will work and I will leave. Then one time, this other director saw me and it's like, "Are you claiming overtime?" I say, "No." It's like, "No, you must claim overtime." I claimed overtime that month. Didn't my boss next after that one is like, "There's no need for you to stay
You
behind.
see?
We are okay." But all the time when I was doing it without getting paid,
It
then
was
at the end, I
okay.
went for another. Yeah, then I applied for another position. When they called her as a reference, she was like, "I had to be honest. I had to be honest that you leave on time. Last time I asked you for something." And I was like, "Okay, it's fine. You know what? You had to be honest." But I
Yeah.
could see that she was punishing me because now I was setting my boundaries
Yes.
that I'm going to
Exactly.
come on time and leave on time. I'm not going to do any extra thing. So I see Dre saying, I think it's hard, especially in our society where it's hard to find employment. People prioritize financial stability over physical and mental health. And that is so true, hey? Especially, I feel like when you still have small kids, it's
That's
not
true.
a yeah, it's not an easy decision because, like for me, the way I'm saying that it's an area I'm still working on, Sisi. God is still working in me. But
Mm,
it's not easy for me because my husband is an entrepreneur. Then we've
mm,
got kids, small kids. So I feel
mm.
like at least with me, we are sure that on this date, I'm going to get paid,
It's
unlike with humans.
yes, yes.
I wanted to, oh, hi, Nzwaki. Hi, Jojo. I wanted to read this comment from, who. Guys, this thing ya technology, I'm trying to move their comment from Onkuditse. Family support is everything. Those are the people that care about your well-being. You are
Absolutely,
replaceable to a job role, but irreplaceable to your family. That is absolutely
absolutely,
so true. You know, one of the
absolutely.
things I was bad at, CC, when it comes to work. I used to be those people who will go to the office when I was sick. I did not
Mm.
take my sick leave. I will not take my annual. It was like literally my identity somehow was
Was work.
attached. And I think it
Yeah.
was a trauma response because when I was a child, there was a time I was banking school and they beat
Mm-hmm.
me for that. You know, we grew up in that time. And since
Yeah.
that time, when I was a child, I was like, I will
Never
always be at
bank.
school. So when
Yeah.
I went to work, I had that thing. So what kind
Yeah.
of an employee were you? Those people who took your leave, or were you always like, you are showing up even when you are not okay?
Mina, I've been a person who always prioritizes my well-being. I've always been like that. When I'm not
That's
well, I
good.
don't go to work. I book off and use the leave that you are legally given and
Mhm.
allowed to take. So I've
Yes.
never been a person who stretches myself unnecessarily. But one thing about me, I work. You know, when I'm at work, I
Yeah.
do my work to the best of my ability. So no, I did take my leave, but I also did extend myself a lot in my job when I'm okay, when I was not sick and I'm at work. I really
Mm.
extended myself.
Mm.
Um, and I'll tell you that I used to do this job with somebody else when I started, and the lady passed, and I was left by myself. For 7 years, I was doing the job of two people alone. So you can imagine the strain and the weight on your shoulders,
Mm.
and then you happen to work with somebody who does not appreciate. I honestly, now in hindsight, I really think she just didn't like the person that was me. It had nothing to do with work, and because of the seniority, she felt ukuthi she could, cindezela me.
Get
You get
away.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And use certain systems, certain guidelines, certain policies in the workspace to sort of suppress you or oppress you. So, but Mina, I did, and when I started feeling the strain, I won't even lie to you. I did utilize my sick leaves because
That's good,
otherwise I was just
Sisi.
gonna drop dead at work and die. So no, now I take
And
my
I think
leaves.
it's important. No, and
It's
I
very
think it's important.
important.
I think that is why I wanted you to answer that because for a lot of women, we struggle with it. You know,
Yeah.
I struggle with it. I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I had an aha moment where I
Yeah.
was watching this other program, Better Together, and the lady shared how she would force herself when she was sick until the
Mm-hmm.
Lord made her realize that that was wrong. And what's going to happen, you'll end up making everyone else sick because you feel like you have to be there. So
Exactly.
I absolutely love that. So Cece, you are now navigating a new season where
Yes.
you are working for yourself.
Yes.
Like you are doing big girls things. You know what? You are doing the things. So
And
can
let me
you
tell
just,
you,
yeah,
And let me tell you, Mina, I've never been a person who thought about entrepreneurship in my younger years. I really
yeah,
thought it was not a journey for me. But like you say, probably it was a trauma response. I had confidence issues growing up. I had self-esteem issues growing up due to different things, a journey that
yeah.
happened. I had children young. So that stigma stayed with me for a very long time. And it made me put myself in the back burner for long, but eventually when I sort of like had that aha moment to say, yeah, it's fine, I had the kids, so what, such is life. I need to, rise up and face the life head on. But I still did not think I could be an entrepreneur. Honestly, this is a God orchestrated thing for me. It was never a thing. I did not go look for it, Joey, believe it or not. My
Yeah.
plan was to stay until the end of the year at home, just to detox and rest and travel and do whatever. That was my
Mm.
plan. 2 weeks into exiting that environment, an opportunity came for me. And to be honest with you, I was actually a little annoyed. I said, Lord, but I want to rest. Like, mina ngifuna ukuphumula. But then it was just a momentary thing and it passed. And I was like, okay, Lord, what is this? Like, what are we doing? And yeah, that's where I find myself. It's not easy, but because it's in the field of work that I know, that part helps a lot. But nje, just to
Yeah.
depend on yourself, to have to make decisions, you have to think, okay, if I do this, this will happen. It's still very new to me. It's an exciting journey.
Yeah.
It's scary at times, because you can wake up tomorrow and the a person says, the contract can't continue anymore. But it's pushing me to think outside the box, which I love
Yeah.
it, because it's stretching my mind. I sit now and I have to strategize to say, how do I. So yeah, it honestly was not an initiative from my part. It was a complete God orchestrated thing, you
I
know.
absolutely love that. And we are cheering you on and rooting for you and praying for
Thank
you
you.
that the Lord will continue to order your steps. So I'm
Thank
laughing at the
you.
comments. They are talking about Dre was saying that in Zimbabwe, a lot of the people they sell their leave days. Dre, I think I've had
Yeah,
two times
government does.
where I sold. Yeah, where I sold my leave days because I was like, I want to go on vacation. So,
I've never sold my
and I
leave
think also,
ever because I use it.
no, I
Never.
did this. You remember I told you that I used to be that person who didn't really go on
Yes.
leave because my other thing in December, like my kids used to go back home. So I'm like, why am I selling? Why am I not going to work? And in December, we don't really work. So taking leave in December for me, it feels like I'm
Was
wasting my days unless
yes,
I'm
yes.
going somewhere. But if I'm not going somewhere, I'm like, hi, we are not doing anything. It's very chilled. The system is hanging and uh, I was like, yeah, so I hardly do. So Nzaki says that when she was young and strong, she used to sell them, but now she is older. She needs all her days. Hi, Dr. Amy. Yeah, so I love that. The reason why I actually subscribed to your channel, I remember it was because of your handle. Guys, please don't
Oh,
forget to like the live, ne?
yes,
So
please.
it was because of your handle. It said for the grandkids I don't
I
have.
don't have,
And
yes.
yeah. And I used to be like, what does she mean? Does she mean she doesn't have kids? Or does she mean she doesn't have grandkids yet? I think the reason why I subscribed, it was because
Was
of
for
that. It
that
was such an
catchy.
interesting handle,
Yeah,
and I was curious about it. So besides being an entrepreneur, you are also a content creator, and I know that you did a video where you shared your journey, right? But just
yes,
for anyone who might not know you, what
yes.
motivated you to start? And how are you navigating it? You actually started it when you were still a 9 to 5,
Working.
right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Um, Joey, honestly, I just felt a nudge to start a YouTube channel. And I believe it was the nudge from God. I don't know, I did
Yeah.
not know what I was going to do. When I had that strong feeling to say, start a YouTube channel, and I thought,
Mm.
to do what? What am I going to do on YouTube? But the feeling became stronger and stronger. And when I told my former colleague, Refilo, whom I'm very close with, she said, but that
Mm.
makes sense, Mama B, because we always learn a lot of things from yourself. So start a YouTube channel because she said, I believe what you have to say needs to be heard by a lot of people. And I was like, I did not think Guti, it is even a thing. And then
Mm.
I started the channel. But in all honesty, I've always had a thing for speaking. I've always had. But I think I just did not nurture it. I just did not
Yeah.
focus on it. So I started the channel, and then I kept on thinking, what am I going to do? Should I do sit downs? It initially it was just a struggle because I did not know what I was doing. Then I just went into vlogging because I thought I might as well keep it going. I'll figure it out as time goes.
Yeah.
And it was a challenge. It still is, but I'm choosing not to focus on the challenge anymore because it tends to derail you to where maybe God
Yeah.
wants to direct me to. So I've made a conscious decision that I'm not going to focus on the challenges anymore. I'm going to celebrate all the wins, even if I get one subscriber for in one vlog. That is still okay. And it's learnings that you pick up from other people. I follow you. I'm subscribed to you and to other content creators that I've come to know
Mm.
in person, I've come to know on the space. And when you listen to other people to say, forget about those things, focus on what you are meant to do on the space. So I
Yeah.
think more and more it's becoming clearer for me in terms of what it is that I need to use my channel for. It's literally just about spreading positivity. It's literally just about sharing encouragement and sharing my stories like I'm sharing in your channel today, where people can realize sometimes that you are not alone. Because sometimes when you go through such,
Yeah.
especially depression comes with a lot of shame. So people close themselves off and
Mm.
they don't want to speak because they think, "Ooh, what are people going to say?" So I'm very open about talking about my depression journey so that another person can think, "Hi, boy, I'm not alone," and she survived it, so I can
Yeah.
survive it as well. So I think it's becoming much, much clearer for me what is it that I need to use the channel for. But I enjoy vlogs, but I think I'm also going to be incorporating a lot of sit downs and just sharing the my life journey and in its totality. Yeah.
No, I absolutely love that. And you forgot to mention that you are a fashionista. One thing I
Ah.
enjoy, yeah. So one thing I enjoy about your vlogs, and it's also the fact that you enjoy fashion. And I'm like, I
I
love that.
do.
Because I
Yeah.
think for me, what I appreciate growing up, when people were thinking about turning 40 or 50, it was like it's the end of your life. But I
Yeah, yeah,
love the fact that we are redefining it. We are making people realize that,
absolutely.
you know what, even in 40 you can enjoy yourself, in 50 you can still
Exactly.
enjoy yourself. And you actually make me feel like it gets better. It gets better with age,
You
i
know
i,
what,
I
Joey? It does.
yeah.
It actually does. It doesn't mean there are no challenges. Life
Yeah.
is life. It always comes with different things. But for me, it has actually gotten better. Maybe it's because my kids are old, so I don't really have the
Yeah.
responsibility of younger children or whatever. So that part takes a lot of the weight of me living my life. But it
Mm.
does get better, challenges or not. And I'll tell you why I say it gets better. It has gotten better for me because I believe I've become wiser. I believe I've become much more confident. I believe that
Mm.
I've got life experience. And then there's just certain things now because of my past experiences that I'm able to avert and like, I'm not going there because I've learned from experience. So it has definitely gotten better for me. I've always been a person that has a zest for life. I love life. I love to enjoy my life myself and just live. I'm always striving to live, to give myself a good life. And when I say
Yeah.
good life, I'm not talking material things. I'm not talking luxurious things. I'm just saying a good life where I'm being true to myself. I'm being honest with the life that I have, and I enjoy it to the fullest. Little things that I do for myself at home. And like you say, I love looking good. So I love to keep myself looking good because it just keeps me happier. It keeps me positive. I always tell the younger people around me that how you look, whether you like it or you don't, it has an effect and an impact in terms of how you feel and how you present yourself to the
It
world.
does.
So it does, right?
No,
So
it really does, because I know with myself, like, I used to say that when I don't want to go to work, I'll make sure I dress up more so that my
yes,
energy level can be
comes
better. Because yeah,
Exactly.
like I remember during the pandemic, people were so excited, like, "Oh, we are no longer going to wear bras." I was like, "Not for me." I was still looking cute, even though I was not going outside, because yeah, yeah. So for me, and I think it's something. I was watching this other lady. She was talking about, you know, how we say first impressions count, and she was talking about how unfortunately people are going to buy into what they see before they
Absolutely.
buy into who you are. Like,
That's very
and that
true.
is true. As much as we don't like it, but that is true.
That's true.
People are fickle. People, they are not about you. They are about themselves. So they want what they want,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. And the world is
yeah,
biased, so we know the world is biased, you know? So
yeah.
unfortunately, unfortunately.
And I think that's the other thing about age. I feel like with age, you are able to accept certain hard truth. Unlike
Yes.
when you're still younger, you want to fight things, you know. But the more
Yes.
you grow, you are able to embrace that, okay, life is like this. How do I adjust? Where do I put myself? You know,
Exactly.
unlike when
Exactly.
you are young, you feel like you can change everything. You want to fight with everyone. But now I'm like, okay, this is not for me. I can remove myself instead of wanting
Exactly.
to change that environment. I want
Exactly.
to read the comments. I saw Longresia joined. Welcome. Komucho was saying that if she creates a YouTube channel, it will be for her grandkids. Komucho, do it. We will come. We will support. We are
Yes.
supporters, Rona.
And you know, when you
Yo.
spoke about the handle for the grandkids I don't have, I've actually
Guys, can you still I think we lost his again. Can you still hear her? Can you hear me? Maybe I'm the one who's gone. Uh, Guys, can you hi Mandy? Can you still hear me? Am I still here? Okay, I hope that she will join back. She's frozen. Okay. I will read your comments for now. Uh, George is saying exactly, you choose your battle shame. If something doesn't fit your spirit or benefit you in some way, we do remove ourselves without any issues. We do. I love the fact that, okay, I think she will join us again. I love the fact that our boundaries are more firm and yeah, like we are not playing anymore. We are still good people, we are still kind, but we are not trying too hard. Unlike when in my 20s, I was trying too much. I was trying to save the whole world. Now I understand that I'm only a human being. I cannot save anyone, even if I wanted to. I see. No, it's okay. Okay,
sorry
welcome
about that.
back. No, it's
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
I actually thought it's me. So I wanted to ask something, Sisi. One of the things that I am struggling with is how I use technology. I love technology, but I love to hate it sometimes. So I can I can only imagine for you because now you don't have small kids. So with me, I think the struggle is because I still have small kids.
Yeah.
Now with you, because you don't have small kids, do you end up, are you still managing your screen time, or is like I only live once?
You know what, Joe? It's a touch and go situation. I have times when when I'm very good about managing my screen time, and there's a time when I'm not. But it's something I'm constantly monitoring because I'm cognizant of the fact that I don't want to be spending too much time on screen. As much as you want to put yourself out there, but it has other negative effects on your health, on your mind. I find that spending too much time online affects your concentration, because you start wanting quick things. Even if I try to read a book, my concentration is affected because I just want to go through things quickly. So I struggle with it, I won't lie, but I'm very deliberate about reducing my screen time. Weekends are
That
worse
is
for me,
such
are
a
very
good
bad.
point.
No, it's true. It affects your concentration. So you must notice, because we are so used to everything being quick. Like TikTok, you just slide. Instagram, you like and pass. And YouTube, you know how when you post an hour's vlog, chances are people are not going to watch the entire thing because people want short things. It's the time that we live in. And your mind gets accustomed to these short things. Therefore, anything that needs you to focus, you just don't. And I'm deliberate about it because I'm not getting younger. And you know that the brain reduces function. It's the functionality of concentration in the brain and everything gets reduced as you grow older. So I need to be careful of those things because I don't want to be an old woman who doesn't have memory.
Wow,
You
Sisi,
see?
you know what, ne? Okay, Jojo was laughing that there I'm talking about technology because I think I talk to everyone about technology because I feel like it is not a bad thing. You know, when it comes to something that is bad, it's very easy for us to say, I'm not going to do this. Like
Yeah, yeah.
all of us here, we will not engage in drugs, right?
That's
Because
true.
it's so clear that they are
Yes,
bad and they are wrong.
yes. And
But
the
technology is
effects.
not a but with technology, it is not so clear. It's
Yeah,
something good. Like the fact
yeah.
that we are talking right now is because
Yes,
of
that's
technology.
true. That's true.
However, if you do not manage it well, it can end up destroying you instead of helping you. And
That's
what you were
true.
saying, I realized with me where when I was starting to read captions, and I will feel like a caption is long, and I'm the queen of long captions. So now I'm feeling like a caption is long, and I'm like, no, this is not me. I'm a reader. I love reading. I've always loved reading, but it's what you're
Exactly.
saying because we get so used to
Short
someone just
form
saying
things.
happy
Yes.
Monday, then we just like and heart, sure. Then we watch
It's
like,
And like
no,
you're saying,
guys,
it's very good for us in a sense that the world is moving towards that direction. Everything is digital, whether we like it or not, and it's getting more and more. I mean, another thing I'm deliberate about being in the online space is because I don't want to lag behind. I don't want to find myself being frustrated 10 years from now when things are somehow and I don't even know what to do. And I live
yeah.
alone, so I need to be sort of self-sufficient, if I can put it like that, and learn these things and online. So I'm deliberate about it. That, and like you say, it's good because there's good that can come out of it, but it does need you to be on your toes in terms of monitoring the consumption.
I love that. I see Commercial is saying that she watches YouTube when busy with work. Honestly, guys, I'm learning that right now that I can watch while I'm busy doing something, you know.
Other things,
And
yes,
I think it's better that way
that's
because
true.
for me, I will want to just watch and focus, you know, not
Yeah,
doing anything. Then at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm watching 5 vlogs. 3 hours is gone. I
exactly. It
haven't
takes
done
away from
anything.
your time as well. As much as we want
Exactly.
to be there, support one another, which is a good thing, we have to, but you just need to find something that works for you. So you see, like Komuto says, while she works. Mina, I watch when I drive because I have to concentrate on the road, but I'll just put a vlog and play it. I don't have to like watch every move,
Yeah.
but at least
Now
I
I
can
wanted to
hear.
see your face. I wanted to see your face I want to see when you I want to see when
But it takes out, in all honesty, it takes up a lot of time. So you need to find what works for you so that you still support other people to grow in the space, but you also are managing the time and the consumption for yourself.
No, I absolutely love that. Hi Simone. Hi Esther. Thank you so much for joining in, ladies. Yo, no, I absolutely love that, Cece. So how do you make sure because there is a lot of content creators here? How do you? Sorry, I'm reading Johanna's comment. She's saying, I think it's mostly the editing ads on my screen time, but I learned to switch off weekends and not be online or watch vlogs while cooking. I think for
Mm,
me, that's why for me, weekends, I don't upload because I'm
mm,
trying to, yeah, I feel like weekends for me, it's family time. So,
yeah.
and I'm thinking that for the people who subscribe to my channel, I want them also to be with their families. So that is
Mm,
why I try not to upload. And I think during the week, it's easier for me to get time
yeah.
before the kids come back. But after they come back, like 5 o'clock is their time. And someone once
Mm,
shared that I only have 2 hours with them. It's between 6 and 8. Then they must
mm,
sleep. So I need to
mm,
be present during that time. Also, I don't want
mm.
my kids one day, guys. I don't want them to go to a reality TV and talk about me and say because I don't want them to be like she was busy doing YouTube. She did and
Yeah,
Asante
and did
and
not have
Siamo
time
can say
for
it.
us. Yeah.
Asante and Siamo, guys, I see them. They can say that she was busy on YouTube and she didn't want us to be in her videos. Yeah, we asked her. And people then then they start dragging me on Twitter. And they are like, how? Didn't she say she's a parenting blogger? And she's not guys, I like joking about things. But so how do you make sure in this season of your life, Cece? Because I feel like I love the good seasons. I love
Yes,
the seasons where things are going well. Yeah,
yes,
where I feel like I'm in control. So as you are in this season that you didn't really plan for, how do you make sure that you maintain your peace and you are able to also celebrate? Because as much as there's a bit of endings and beginnings, so how
yes,
do you balance the two?
yes. In terms of my peace, I think Mina, my life is very simple, and my life has got um very few people in it. Over the years, I've learned I'm a very people loving person, but I'm at the same time I'm protective of my space. And I've learned to, I don't know. I think I've just learned to, when I sense something that that does not sit well with me about a particular person, without me judging them or whatever. But I sort of guard my space, and in my space I allow people that I feel are good for me, and I would want to believe I'm good for them as well. So that's how I've managed to protect my peace. I surround myself with people that I feel um, are not gonna take away my peace from myself. I can't. I don't know. For me, it doesn't add value to maintain a human being that you're constantly at loggerheads with, that you're constantly
Yeah,
bickering, you're constantly, especially if it's not somebody that is family, because you can't divorce yourself from family. But from somebody else, honestly, I personally do not allow such
I
in my
love that.
space. But also, peace for me as well comes from nourishing my relationship with God, because I feel that there's a lot of things that God is able to deposit unto you. There's a lot of things that God is able to let you off. There's a lot of things that God is able to say, actually, shift more, A is not gonna. So my nourishing my relationship with God, I feel that it brings me a lot of peace. But I generally also think I'm a peaceful human being.
You
Therefore,
are.
I think I receive what I give out. That's just how I feel. But in terms of enjoying, now that I'm healing, I really am going back to myself. I'm finding myself enjoying the little things that I used to enjoy
Mm,
before. I live in a very quiet area, and in the morning you'll hear the birds. Believe you me, I'm enjoying that. And for 2 years, I didn't hear the birds. It's like the birds were not there
wow.
because I was not okay. I'm enjoying the
Yeah.
things that I used to do, little things like today I went to do this type of hair. This is how I always looked. But believe you me, because I was not okay, I was like, "Ai, nna ke a ke rate le ho loga." And then that's not the truth, because that's not me, you know. So I'm so excited about that, that I'm finding myself going back to myself, and those are the things that, little things
I
that
love
just
it.
bring me joy. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I absolutely love it. And I think for me, one of the things, I think it's your latest vlog, you were talking about how you realize that you used to serve your kids, you used to cook for them, but you are not doing that for yourself. So you've
yes,
decided that now you must do the same thing. And I know that a lot of us as women struggle with it. Like
mm,
today, guys, I wanted to go and buy myself ice cream and sit down. But after I was thinking about the logistics, I was like, no, Joey, go back home. But so I think for me, it's very comforting when I see another woman doing the things that I hope and wish to do.
to
So it is
do.
encouraging for me that okay, on the other side, and also when I see your kids, they are adults now, it comforts me. It makes me
Yeah,
hopeful, that
yeah,
one day it will be me and my kids and we'll be doing that.
yeah.
I saw a comment from Jojo. She was talking about how one of her child's friend didn't do well with their test, and they were saying their mom couldn't help because she's an influencer. And I think that's the thing for
Yo.
me. I think that's the thing for me. Guys, we really need wisdom when it
Yeah,
comes to this thing. We really
true,
need wisdom because it is a lot. It is a lot. And I always say, for me personally, I thank God for now that I'm not
true.
depending on content creation, because I
Yes,
feel like if I was depending on it alone, it was going to drive me crazy, because
that's
already
true.
I'm uploading twice. I'm really
It
trying
is
my
a lot.
best. I'm really trying my
Yeah.
best. I'm trying to do the angles and everything, but still but still the views and the money and the what is not
It's,
showing. So imagine
yeah,
if it was something that I was dependent on, it
full
meant I was
time.
going to think maybe I need to upload 5 times a week, which is
Yeah,
really not sustainable.
it's
So I don't
true.
know the situation with that mom, but I can empathize with them, even though I don't know.
Mm,
Because when
mm.
when you are relying on something, the cost,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
you
The
start
cost is
panicking
high.
because exactly. Jay,
Mm.
the onions are a lot, guys, especially when you are cooking. Now you must be chopping an onion, and it must look appetizing, guys. I must you know? So now I must be like, now I must look for lighting all the time. I must be looking for, where's the sun? No, no. But anyway, it is stretching us. And I think one of the things that resonate with me, with you, is the fact that you are also a bargain queen like me.
La lela,
The
la
balance
lela.
between, you know, so I absolutely loved it. I love the fact that you will be like, I actually went back to PQ because of you. I forgot
Mm.
about it. It used to be a store I would go to, as I think when I was still at varsity. So I actually forgot about it. But when I saw on your vlogs, you will show things. So I was like, no, I must look for it again. So I love that you plug us on all these different shops that for sometimes people, they don't really think about them. So
No.
how do you do that? How do you make sure that you remain stylish? Because sometimes people think that it needs more money.
It definitely does not need more money. And I always, when I watch you talking about being budget friendly, I always laugh when I watch your vlogs and think Joe is my twin when it comes to this area of life, because I share the same sentiment. Um, I don't know whether for me it was it's a trauma response as well, like you've mentioned. I've
Ish.
spoken I've spoken about my loss
I
on the
get
channel
you.
before. So from then onwards, I kept on chastising myself that I was not diligent with money. I was not da da da. Had I done this, maybe I could have saved my house. Wara wara wara. So from then
Mm-hmm.
onwards, for me, it just became, although I don't necessarily think it's a trauma response, that situation contributes though, I won't lie. But I
Yeah,
think I've
yeah.
always had a bargain, like I've always loved bargain because I feel like you get better for less. Why not? And there was a time when I would go out of my way to go look for bargains. Like I introduced Chinatown to my family to say, hey, stop buying jerseys expensive, they're cheap at Chinatown. And I was raised by a mom who loved clothes, who loved expensive things. So I grew up like that at some point. But at some point, I was like, nah, there's things that are beautiful that you can spend less money on.
Yeah.
But yeah, also with time, I'm realizing that, but why should we spend too much money when if you have a good eye, you'll be able to spot a beautiful thing anywhere. And I always say,
Yes.
how you get to know a good thing, even in a place that people might view as being a cheap place or whatever, customize yourself with places that sell expensive things. Know what the fabric feels like. Know what the feel should be like,
Mm.
even though you don't buy it, because you'll be able to spot it when you go to the cheap spots to say, "Hi, man, I saw this
Oh,
jersey at Foshini. It's the same quality. It's the same whatever." That's what I do. I go to these places
I
and I
love
do buy.
that.
And I do buy at these places as well. But sometimes it makes no sense for me to buy something at a higher price when I can find a same thing or similar quality somewhere else. So get to know what these beautiful places that we all love, what they sell, what the fabric feels like. I'm very big on fabric. A fabric needs to feel good on my skin. It's a thing for me. So
I
familiarize
love
yourself
that.
with these things. But when I get to a place where a lot of people would despise, I'll be able to spot these things because I know what they look like. So that's what I do.
Oh, I love that. That's a great tip. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Amy. Bye bye. Longresia and Nzwaki. I think they are gone. Hi,
Okay.
BB. No problem. I understand it's a Friday. So,
Yes.
Sisi, any last remarks before we officially close? And where can people get you? I think I'm going to tag you, ne? But where else can
Yes.
people get you?
Okay. Firstly, thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it. I love your content. I love
Thank
what you are
you.
doing as a mom. You are lovely with your children, and I think a lot of young moms can learn a lot from what you are doing with your family and your kids. So
Thank
keep
you
that
so
up.
much.
I really love that. And yeah, I'm on YouTube as Bonagele Pumo, my full name. I'm also on Instagram as Bonagele Pumo, my full name. Those are the two apps that I'm actively involved in, and it's intentional for me. I don't want to participate on too many things, but yeah, people can find me there, and yeah, for people to just keep doing themselves, man. Love yourselves, do the best you can, and my big thing, as you would know, is be good to yourself and be good to other people.
And you are very big on that, and I love
No,
it.
I
Thank you
am.
so
I
much.
am.
Yeah.
No, thank you,
Thank
Joey.
you
I
so much.
appreciate it. Thank you,
It's my
everybody.
pleasure. Thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you for the comments. I really, really
Thank you.
appreciate you. I will
Thank
see you
you.
on the next one. Have a lovely
Bye.
evening. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Simone. You must also have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Sisi. Dudu is here. Thank you, Sisi. Bye, everyone. Good night. Kya ne? Love you guys. I'm team. I love you guys now. Bye, Kamu. Thank you, Tulisi. Guys, I'm team. I love you now. Ne? Yeah.
And
You
that's
can't
good. We
convince
love it
me.
for us.
No, I love you guys. I think I didn't like that. You know how it comes at the end? And I hear sometimes
Yeah.
when I say it at the end, I want to just say it anyway. I
In
want to say it at the
anyway.
beginning of the conversation or in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't want it to feel
Yeah.
like it's part of a
Yeah.
script.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah, I overthink things sometimes, but that's my wiring. Okay, bye everyone. Good night. Let me
Bye.
end it.
Bye.